On this Make a Difference Monday, what we're eating is eating us alive. One expert even says probably 95% of America has no idea how to eat, and it is literally killing us.
Wow, but what if what we're eating is the problem? Well, it can also be the solution, right? And that is the powerful message behind a new movie, Eating You Alive. The critically acclaimed documentary is screening this week in Memphis. Marilee Jacobs and Paul Kennamer produced the movie. Sorry, I had you married there for a minute. Paul also directed the film, and they're here with Stacy Early from Literacy Mid-South, which has brought the documentary to Memphis. And Literacy Mid-South, you think reading. What about, why health?
Well, literacy in all aspects, especially health. A lot of us, even just when we go to the doctor, we're afraid to say we don't know what they're telling us. So this is just a different aspect of it. Food, which I'm really passionate about.
Yeah.
It's a big part of how we can take care of ourselves. And I just wanted to bring that different viewpoint to Memphis.
I love it. Love
really,
it.
what we're eating could be perhaps killing us, but a lot of people don't realize it. Why do you think that is?
You know, I think in large part, big industry, government, those kinds of things have kind of kept the truth about what you eat actually, you know, can either turn off or turn on disease. And that's been kept from us for the purpose of profit. And the information's been out there for decades. It's been around for a very long time, back to Socrates and Hippocrates. I mean, they knew this, so why don't we? And it's really sad that most of our medical doctors are not learning about the critical link between nutrition and health in school from this perspective. They're usually taught procedures, medications, those types of things, but not the real role that food plays.
And they're so stretched in their practices, they get a lot of their information from pharmaceutical reps. There are some who go so far as to say it's a conspiracy between the food lobby and the pharmaceutical lobby. Paul, do you guys go that far to make that link?
Certainly when I began to go down the path, that's one of the things that for me was very interesting, because I feel there is a link. How deep the link goes, that's to anyone to figure, but yes, I think
if we stay sick with chronic diseases, that is a monthly prescription that we stay
exactly.
on forever.
We don't need people that are dead, and we don't need people that are well. We need people somewhere in the middle. If they're sick enough to need medications, that means someone's getting a little bit of money.
So for the layperson out there who wants to actually kind of take this in, how did you guys go about approaching this subject matter? I mean, do you approach it scientifically? Do you talk to just your average day people? What was your take there?
Well, we interviewed about 100 people across the country, ranging from James Cameron and Samuel L. Jackson, all the way to just everyday people living this, you know, that are dealing with the same chronic diseases that we're all the same. And so what we did was try to take a scientific look at that through interviewing about 60 to 70 doctors that, again, didn't learn this information in medical school. They had to develop their own chronic diseases and then overcome those through finding out that nutrition was the key. So we tried to tell the story through their lives and backing up with the science as well.
So we're going to put information on a screening where people can come and see this, but real briefly, a lot of people feel like it's too expensive, it's inaccessible in some neighborhoods. Give us just a few things that the ordinary person can begin to do today to begin to cut out some of the toxic food. Let's start with you, Marilee.
I think one of the critical things is label reading. Because those things like canned fruits and vegetables can actually be a part of a whole food plant-based lifestyle that are very healthy for you, but you just have to read the labels and realize I want to stay away from those canned veggies that have sugar and oil added to them. Frozen veggies now, you can get the steam in the bag, oftentimes on sale, so they're very inexpensive, but you have to be careful because when they say they're seasoned or they're sauced, typically you're going to find oil and sugar in those. And so like the really basic thing I would say is, aside from removing meat and dairy from your lifestyle.
Completely?
Completely.
Wow.
If you remove meat and dairy completely, if you're looking for another just really key component, that is avoid anything with oil, added oil in it.
You have me wondering, though, what do you do in a situation, as we have here in the city of Memphis, where you have food deserts and the options are not really out there or not as many? How do you combat that issue?
think really basics, rice. A lot of, countries subsist on rice and beans. And while that may sound really boring, I mean, there's hundreds of varieties of different whole grains and different beans and legumes and starches, like potatoes. Potatoes are actually really, really good for you, and a lot of people avoid those, but we shouldn't.
The Dairy Council's going to scream, how do we get our calcium, Paul?
Well, I'm not a medical doctor, but all that I know from making the film, that the countries that ingest the most dairy milk have the highest deficiencies.
So almond milk, soy milk,
Almond milk,
those
soy
sort of
milk,
things, coconut
yes.
milk.
Again, where does the cow get the calcium? It gets it
Wow.
from the plants. We do the same
Interesting.
thing.
Stacey, we're hoping a lot of folks come out to this, can be a part of it.
Absolutely. You can buy tickets at the door. You can still go online and purchase tickets.
We'll link to the website.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Good to have you guys here.
And look for the big bus, too. Man, they are driving a monster.
It's hard to miss it.
Yeah, it really is.